on it. You just defended a guy who sexually assaulted somebody and should be deported, and you're the immigration minister.
I don't know the facts you're referring to.
I just told you. I've raised it in the House, and you guys have done nothing. And it's continuing every day. It's rampant in our justice system. You have the responsibility to do this, and you've done nothing. Why?
Increasingly becoming a rage economy. And what we're seeing is foreign actors, foreign individuals sort of monetizing our polarization.
But man, Canada, what is going on with you guys?
We are definitely hurting. I think we have been completely taken over by the cabal system, the World Economic Forum, and we are being held hostage against our will. And
gang, what's up? Aaron here, Canadian Looney. We have a bunch of very entertaining videos about Canadian federal politics. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics. Get yours right here. Let's take a look at what's been going down. Things are tough in Canada, indeed. Let's look to Britain.
I feel like Canada's almost the ground zero for their experiment, their globalist experiment, because Canadians are very meek, very apathetic. And so now they're trying to see what will work in other countries, because England is waking up and they're really starting to push back. And so, of course, they're not going to use the exact same things in Canada. They will kind of go quietly and they will try and do things slowly. So with the digital ID in the UK, they kind of came out a little too forceful.
Strong, yeah.
Exactly.
They want to make everybody accept it.
Exactly. Whereas in Canada, they're like, oh, you won't need it to, work. You just needed to go in and get your EI or get your, taxes.
Yeah.
Just little things at a time. And so Canadians are like, oh, whatever. I already have a digital ID. Oh, I already have a phone. But I don't think they really understand the centralization and the power that the digital ID will hold.
Yeah.
They think that digital means it's just going to be online and it's just going to be streamlined. But it's who will actually have control over the information that you're putting in there, and then who will actually control your ability to access that.
Yeah.
That is the dangers of digital ID.
Oh, and that's just the beginning, right? Let's expand on that a little bit, because obviously it's going towards the mark of the beast system. But you were describing how you had to leave Canada to even understand the propaganda you were being subjected to.
Yes, so that was an eye-opener, even for me. Once I left Canada, I knew the propaganda that was being pushed on us, and I saw through it, but I didn't realize just how much it affected me on an emotional level until we moved to the United States. And then you're around normal people, amazing patriots, people who are super friendly and genuinely mean it. They're not scared to say what they want to say. And then all of a sudden you get this genuine vibe from people and it rubs off on you, and then the veil almost lifted. I was like, wow, I can't believe just how much propaganda we get pushed in Canada. And I started to get angry at that. And so I was like, I need to wake everybody up in Canada. And I think some of that emotion and anger, I think people took it as, I hate Canada and I left, which is not the case at all. It's almost like, hey guys, I've just gone through this. If you guys would just listen, you would realize just how much control we're under and just how tight everything is, to the point where you can't even talk to your Canadian neighbors in an authentic way because you're scared your neighbor will call the cops on you.
Wow, so it really is Soviet level.
It's starting to really, really get there. It really is. Because if you tell a neighbor anything, they will call the cops on you. If a neighbor suspects that you are doing something, or even having a small business where you're not paying the full taxes, and let's say the taxes are maybe $1,000 a year, they will call the government and report you because they don't want you having that $1,000, because you have to also pay so many taxes. So why should your neighbors get away with it?
It's unfair. But when 10 million Indians want to scam the system and go on welfare and deplete the rivers, they don't have anything to say. Which again is just it really, you almost have to marvel at the psychological manipulation that the World Economic Forum and their associates have been able to pull off against people like Canada. Just the cognitive dissonance is almost something to behold.
Oh, yeah.
Liberal hypocrisy is the only consistency that you guys have. Every time I bring up the vaccine, the first thing you guys say is, that was 5 years ago, give it up. Yeah, Nuremberg codes were broken, a bunch of human rights were trampled on, but just move on. And then you bring up slavery that happened 100 years ago, as if any of our pleb-ass, peasant-ass families owned slaves. Like, that's how stupid you are, right? But you want me to care about that. But you don't care about the very rights that you trampled on 5 years ago, right? Oh, you wanted me to show a vaccine passport, but having a passport to be legal in a country is somehow racist? Oh my gosh, they're separating kids from their families. Oh my gosh, isn't that what you did during 2021 and the push? Or how about this fact when you said that it's a privilege for me to have a job in Canada and that I should just get the vaccine and be happy that I have a privileged job? Yeah, and now you're saying everybody deserves housing and clothing and healthcare. I don't think you do. I really don't, because I paid into that healthcare for years. And then you told me that I shouldn't be able to use it because I didn't want a vaccine. Ooh, well, I want it privatized or I want my money back. I don't give a shit if you kick me out of society. It's a dumpster fire anyway. Bunch of domesticated pussies in cities, just going along with what the government says. I was glad being up there, up north, in the middle of nowhere. But then you decided to start pushing policies about the green agenda, about this agenda. Ooh, everybody should be living in 15-minute cities. You don't need that much land. You don't need a gun. You don't need to hunt for your own food. Just get it from a store, right? Yeah, isn't it interesting that the only thing you guys have is hypocrisy and maybe like one brain cell? Because honestly, I think half of you are lobotomized. I just can't see myself being that stupid and having a full functioning brain. And yet you guys don't even use it. But hey, whatever. As long as the NPC TV tells you that you're being the right person and that you're being the virtue signaling, whatever, that's all that matters, right? Doesn't matter that you're actually a piece of shit deep down inside.
Oh, yeah.
But man, Canada, what is going on with you guys?
We are definitely hurting. I think we have been completely taken over by the cabal system, the World Economic Forum, and we are being held hostage against our will in Canada. And I don't think anybody really has a straightforward solution as to how we will get out of the situation that we have found ourselves in.
Why do you think that is? Is it the parliamentary system? Because it seems like from Europe and Canada, the parliamentary system, while I love aspects of it, like I love the question time where everybody's yelling questions, like parts of it I like, but then it just seems like it's so much easier to control for some reason, even than our two-party system, which obviously is a control structure of its own sort. But like, is it the parliamentary system? What makes it so impossible to get out of this?
I honestly think it's a multiple things in aspect that are kind of working against us. The parliamentary system being one of them. Another one, our Charter of Rights isn't really as strong as your Constitution. And then also the way Canadians are. It's the same way that UK and Germany is. We have been trained to be friendly, to really be progressive in all of our views, to welcome everybody in. And I think that they're using that kindness as weakness against ourselves, pretty much. And right now, because Canada is a parliamentary system, there's not really somebody that can come in to take over and really shake up the system and also fix what is I guess, ahead of us. Because Justin Trudeau, the way he played everything out is he came in, took everything over, and then slowly started to take over the Senate, started to take over the media, and he's been placing all of these pawns into place so that he can push all of his laws and policies and procedures into place without any sort of opposition.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we have a lot of issues in Canada regarding that.
I'm just going to remind you, this is part of your portfolio. So this is your department. Do you think that section is working? Do you think that, I'll give you another example. There was a 25-year-old who was on a study permit. He sexually assaulted an 18-year-old at a club in my city in Calgary. He was found guilty, and this judge reduced his sentence because of that provision in that bill you're responsible for. The definition of serious criminality, it doesn't work. I just want to feel like, do you think that's bad? Like, do you think that maybe we should change that so that people who are non-citizens who are convicted of things like sexual assault get auto-deported rather than just kind of sticking around and doing it again, maybe?
So we have legislation in front of us that will ensure serious crimes get dealt with seriously,
Which
including
legislation?
Deportations. The immigration, so even
law?
the judge in the case said
No, go back. Tell me
that
which law
we
you're
were
talking
not
about.
to override the seriousness of the offense. Might be a factor to
So you
consider.
don't know which
but
law
it
you
will-
just said?
absolutely, no, it would not override the offense.
I really think you have no idea what you're talking about. It's really sad. We're talking about non-citizens who are convicted of serious crime being allowed to stay in Canada. So we put forward an amendment to Bill C-12, which would have corrected this. I did your job for you. I think Peter might be doing your job for you in a couple of months. But you guys didn't support that. So I'm asking you as just somebody.
Yes, point of order, Mr. Fragiscatos.
Let's just maintain the focus on the subject at hand, which is immigration, please.
I would love to maintain the focus, but the minister,
We're back on your time,
the
Ms.
minister just
Rempel-Garner.
doesn't, she can't even answer a basic question. So I'm asking you, you have people, non-citizens who have been convicted of sexual assault, and judges are using a serious criminality loophole that's in your bill, in your department. Do you think that should maybe be changed?
People who are committing serious offenses will be deported. I'll tell you.
No, this guy wasn't. He's still here.
Well, we're talking now. I can't
minute.
talk. I don't know what year you're referring to. I
All
don't
of these
really know
cases,
the,
they're still here.
And again, I think what you're trying to do is, this is
Stand
an
up for
approach
victims?
that it's a recycled approach that we heard years ago that interferes with judicial independence and
you're
ignores the Supreme
pro-raper.
Court precedent. But again, I say to you, the courts have already indicated that serious offenses will be
You're
dealt with
pro-sexual
seriously.
assault guy staying in
and-
Canada. That's what we're hearing. Like, can't you even just say that this is wrong and you'll look into it? Like, did nobody even say, like, maybe you could just say, Minister, this is really serious. You should say it's serious. I'm going to look into it. Maybe we could work together on it. You just defended a guy who, like, sexually assaulted
don't know
somebody
the
and should be
cases. I don't know the
deported. And you're the
facts.
immigration minister.
I don't know the facts you're
I just
referring
told
to.
you.
A new X feature showing where someone is posting from was meant to increase transparency. But as CTV's Tim Brooke explains, it sparked new questions and concerns.
The leader of the Alberta separatist movement says it's picking up steam.
It doesn't come with pomp and circumstance, but it is shifting, and so those are positive signs for us in our movement.
Head online and it's easy to believe. The town square is filled with almost non-stop separatist sentiment, but not everything is as it seems.
Our information environment is increasingly becoming a rage economy. And what we're seeing is foreign actors, foreign individuals sort of monetizing our polarization.
A new X feature shows the location of accounts, and many of those pushing separation don't appear to be from Alberta or even Canada.
They don't really have an interest in what's going on. The sentiments are probably not genuine. They just want to get the engagement.
But while some foreign actors have been exposed, others are now claiming there's been a mistake. Take the Alberta Prosperity Project, which has more than 15,000 followers, including the Premier. Its communications team tells us the APP is purely Alberta-rooted and that the new location feature raises critical questions about privacy and free expression.
So this is one more signal, but it's not necessarily a definitive signal like some are portraying it.
Other accounts claim they use a VPN to hide their real location or were tagged while traveling.
Location finder was left on, and it still says that it was posting from the United States. On the wall behind me, I've got the citizenship certificate.
Just another reminder to be cautious.
I would always take with a grain of salt and see if somebody else that I know and trust that have a proven track record of providing accurate information is also sharing it.
Tim Brooke, CTV News.
Thank you so much for your time. All right, now they got the smoke abuse out, blowing smoke in our face now. It's very sad. Honestly, this makes me very sad, but I'm very glad that last time when we went to the Kamloops to cover the same type of event, which was allowed to happen, by the way, there was lots of discussion that took place. I guess the students there are less scared of discussions and opinions there. But after those, conversations took place, we were tapped on the shoulder to say, thank you for showing up. And no matter what side they were on, they were actually happy that they had those discussions. That's not what's taking place here. Sorry, they're blowing smoke directly in our security's face. It's really disgusting and shameful, but hopefully we're seeing things change. And on that note, with what you just saw here, you should know that sadly to come to universities, it's not that safe anymore. I'm going to throw to a shot of what took place when Dr. Frances Whittleson went to Winnipeg right now, and have a look here. So for that reason and for this reason, as smoke and obnoxious behavior goes in my face, that's why we have to have security to bring you these types of stories. So if you want to be a part of making that possible, we don't take a penny from the state like 95% of the media. So please consider going to journalistdefensefund.com so that clowns like this, I shouldn't even say clown, God forgive me, so that we can be safe while we tell the truth against whatever you want to call this. That's journalistdefensefund.com.
The question is, why is there no reference to keeping jobs at Stellantis and so much emphasis on these policies?
But I don't know why you're all saying that there's no commitment. There is. So, just look at the contracts and then you'll be informed.
Has the minister seen the fully unredacted contract?
I certainly would, if she has, it wouldn't have been through my office, so my sense is no. I have actually not seen the fully unredacted version myself.
Make this promise to Canadians. I will always be straight about the challenges that we face and the choices that we must make. And to be clear, we won't transform our economy easily or in a few months. It will take some sacrifices, and it will take some time.
The one we call Canadians. Oh yeah.